Okay, so I'm now in about week 4 of my Vivo Barefoot journey, and this is the Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail 2 that I'm in. I've been wearing these for about a week now, very, very impressed. A couple of small little niggles, which I'll talk about later, but so far, so good. And this obviously is a much better shoe for the woods, because A, it's not white like the Primus Lite is, well my one, and B, it has a little bit of come on, focus for a full traction. So the only tiny wee qualm I have with the shoes is that they could do with a little tiny bit more width, especially my left foot. I do have very wide feet. Well, not very wide, but I do have wide feet. And I just noticed on the edges, for these ones in particular, not the Primus Lights, but the Vivo Trail 2, they did rub slightly on my little pinky toe. But I've got to have to admit, over the last week, they've definitely opened up, and also I've taken the insole out, which has given me a few extra millimeters, which is all I need. So actually, I can barely feel it now. So I think it was just, I don't know, just a case of breaking the shoes in, which I've heard before. Not really that used to breaking shoes in, but I've got to admit, once I've broken these shoes in, they do feel very, very good. And then taking the insole out doesn't really change any of the comfort. All it does is enable you to actually feel the ground even more. So insole out, no issue. Got to say, I'm really still very impressed with the feel, the connect, that proprioception you get from that feedback from the ground. It's just really good. And especially now to be able to run on the trails where you have to sort of, okay, cautiously, you have to be cautious and you have to pick your line and pick your route, because you don't want to, if you do hit a pebble, you do feel it, but I think it trains your body just to bounce back a little bit quicker and just be a bit more cautious, be a bit lighter on your feet, have a slightly high cadence, which in turn is going to take less impact off the rest of your body, the knees, the hips, the joints, the back, whatever it is. So I think with some cushion shoes, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but for me, I think maybe if you've got a lot of cushion in your feet, you're not going to be as wary, so therefore the impact from the ground force and the other impact has to go somewhere. If it's not going to go on your feet, it's going to go on your knees or your hips. This is one of the reasons why I switched to Ultra in the first place, that nice zero drop, which made me more upright posture, but now, running in the barefoot shoes, going back to the Ultras, for instance, they feel almost a little bit crazy, super cushioned. The Olympus is just ridiculous now. So I've been wearing the Superior as a sort of transitional shoe, but also it's a great shoe to wear, but taking the insole out. So it's about 19 mil of cushion underneath. But again, it's a lot more than these ones here, because these ones here, the Vivo Barefoot Trail 2, Primus, True 2, these ones, there's hardly anything there, especially with the insole out, it feels great. Just come inside now from a great session in these shoes here, the Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail 2. And again, very pleased with them, very pleased with how they feel underfoot, the flexibility, that just lovely ability to be able to move properly, move well, with all the squat jumps and lunge jumps and crawls and burpees, etc. The shoe really does come up trumps. Plus I have actually pushed out quite a few good runs in them now. I think sort of 15K is my longest run in the shoe. So yeah, I have to say my journey so far in the Vivo shoes, roughly around about 4 weeks now, is really good. It has been going very smoothly. A few people have been asking me if I've had any sort of foot pain or any issues with the transition to the very minimal sole with the Vivo Barefoots. I have to say no. My feet were my left foot weirdly was a little bit sore the other day, but I think that's just because I've been doing a lot more jumping, moving, stretching with lunge jumps and burpees, plus sprinting and harder runs on the treadmill. I think that's the only reason why. But the ball of the foot is absolutely fine. Achilles, calves, all that stuff, the posterior chain, no pain there. One thing I will say, which I touched about briefly, I think, is that these could be just a fraction wider. They are just a little bit, just pinching here. So I don't know whether that's because of my super wide feet, well, not that wide, but my wide feet, or it's because I didn't maybe go up into a size 10.5. These are size 10. The Primus Lights are a size 10, and they feel pretty similar. In fact, I'm wearing my Primus Lights right now. So I will say, the one thing about wearing the shoes on a daily basis is that you get to feel everything just a little bit better. And that could even be just driving your car. I drove to the Isle of Wight on the weekend, I was in the car, and just with my feet on the accelerator and the brake in the Primus lights, you feel a lot more just feedback from whatever you're doing. Whether you're driving, walking, climbing, running, in the gym, outdoors, doing the weights, whatever it is, you feel a better connection with the ground because you have that much more minimal cushion and so on. So yeah, please let me know below if you guys are basically just transitioning to, if you've got, how that's all going. And as I said before, I have come from an ultra background with 0 drops, so this is why it's probably not as hard for me to do it. But in regards to the foot pain or any issues with that, 0, and I'm just really enjoying it. So yeah, 4 weeks into it, and I will keep posting a little progress video about the journey with the barefoot stuff. But in regards to the Primus Trail 2, really good shoe. It's so much nicer to have a little bit of traction. Of course, they're not going to be working super well in the mud. No trainer does, really. Right, thanks for watching. Hope that kind of helps. Please let me know below if you guys are on a sort of similar journey with barefoot, if you've already done it, if you're doing it, if you're thinking about doing it, because I think you should do it. Just try it out. It doesn't have to be all the time. And as I said, I'm using the Superior, the Ultra Superior as well. So I'm about 80% in the Vivos and about 20% in the Ultras. And I think that's a good mix now, sort of running, because I just don't want to go all steam ahead in Vivo barefoot shoes. For now anyway. Right, that's it. Take care. Hope to see you soon. And please click that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thank you very much. That's it. I'm now going to eat some food after that workout of burpees and press-ups and etc, etc, etc. Right, that's it. See you soon. Bye-bye. And Rufus. What's that? Do you want to do this?